boxing fans and YouTube content creators been coming telling me that Shakur Stevenson is ducking Frank Martin. Yeah, Shakur Stevenson is ducking Frank Martin. Well, Frank Martin just came out and spoke on if Shakur Stevenson is ducking him or not. We gonna listen to what Frank Martin had to say about the situation. We also gonna cook on the situation. But before you do that, all you have to do is do me one favor and hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subbed to the channel. So recently, I've been watching some of my guys on YouTube, and I hear narrative that's going on saying that Shakur Stevenson is ducking Frank Martin. You know, I'm hearing people saying that, well, Shakur Stevenson, when it comes to Frank Martin, he ain't got the same energy. Oh, Frank Martin and Errol Spence, they called out Shakur Stevenson. I said, well, I ain't never heard Frank Martin call out Shakur Stevenson. I heard Frank Martin call out Keyshawn Davis. I heard Keyshawn Davis call out Frank Martin. But where are y'all getting this news from, and where are y'all getting this narrative from that Shakur Stevenson is ducking Frank Martin? Now, it was an incident that went on where Keyshawn Davis and Frank Martin, you know what I'm saying, they've gone at it a couple times on Twitter. Keyshawn Davis was calling out Frank Martin. Errol Spence, he came back and he responded from Frank Martin and was like, you know what I'm saying, hey, you ain't on his level yet. You not on Frank Martin level yet. So if anything, I want the big fight. We'll go after Shakur. You know what I'm saying? We much rather fight Shakur because you ain't got no name like that. You're not on that level. You still up and coming, right? And so by that, Shakur was like, hey, you know, I don't turn down no smoke. If he want it, I'm with it. But, you know, that's my brother, Keyshawn Davis. That's his business right there. You know what I'm talking about? And just left it at that. So a lot of people ran with that and said that Shakur Stevenson is afraid of Frank Martin. Shakur Stevenson is now ducking Frank Martin. And I said, wow, these people come up with any narrative. If you don't like the fighter, you're going to come up with any narrative. So recently, a dude came on my channel and he tried to argue the point. And I said, bruh, first of all, how can Shakur Stevenson be ducking Frank Martin? Frank Martin fight with the PBC at 135. Shakur Stevenson just moved up. He ain't even fought a fight at 135 pounds. He's with Top Rank. I said, why would Shakur Stevenson be even entertaining Frank Martin right now? Because that fight is not possible to make. PBC is not going to win a make a fight with Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson or Errol Spence. My bad. Let me correct that. EJ, he not going to want to go over there because EJ is the promoter. But Frank Martin is still with the PBC. He still fight on Showtime. You feel what I'm saying? So it's all the same entity. They not finna put a fight on between Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin because if you do the cross-promotional thing, it got to be on pay-per-view. Nor Shakur Stevenson or Frank Martin have never been on pay-per-view. Their names are not big enough to be on pay-per-view and headline a pay-per-view right now at this point in time with each other. So it wouldn't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? These promoters are not in the game to just get together and lose money. You know what I'm talking about? And then the fighters, they gonna want to get paid, so it makes no business sense right now at this point in time. I told homeboy, I said, look, down the line, we could talk about them making the fight. But now one of them got a big enough name to do a cross-promotional platform pay-per-view right now. Simple as that. Well, it should be as simple as that, but a lot of these dudes on YouTube, they don't have common sense. They just run with a fighter that they like, and I like both these fighters. I rock with Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm talking about? Two great fighters. You know what I'm talking about? I think that Shakur Stevenson is a great fighter. I think Frank Martin is on his way to becoming a great fighter. So it is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? I got Shakur Stevenson over Frank Martin for sure. But that don't really have nothing to do with anything because they still got to get in the ring and fight and prove me right. You know what I'm saying? Or prove me wrong. Either one. But that's not what I'm concerned with, right? It's that a lot of y'all dudes, y'all just get to running with narratives so y'all can have something to talk about. And like I told dude, I said, you don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? His argument made no sense trying to tell me that Shakur Stevenson ducked Frank Martin. So, right now, enough of hearing what I had to say about the situation. We gonna go to Frank Martin, and I'm gonna let y'all hear exactly what Frank Martin has to say about Shakur Stevenson and if Shakur Stevenson is ducking him. Go ahead and roll the tape.
Errol recently,
Yeah,
went on Twitter, was kind of talking about you and Shakur, but
yeah,
he also said that he doesn't necessarily want you guys to fight right now. That's more so like a big money fight. Do you kind of look
yeah,
at
most definitely.
you look at it like that same way?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no sense in like if it's fights that need to be made, let's make the fights when it's like when we gonna get some money, belts on the line, and we gonna get paid. You know what I mean? Like, that don't make sense. Like me, I'll fight though. You know, I'll fight. That's one thing about me. But like as a business sense, it makes sense to take a fight. Take that fight and get like low meal, like some low M's, and you can wait a little bit. We both got belts or whatever it may be, and then we fight.
Common sense is not so common, people. Come on, people. Like Blue Blood say, man. You know what I'm talking about? You hear the man right there out of his own mouth tell you, nah, he's not ducking. It don't even make no sense for us to fight right now. Ain't now one of us got no belts. We don't got the name like that. Let's wait down the line when it makes a lot of sense. When we fighting for some belts, we fighting for a whole lot of more M's, and then we can make it happen. You heard him also clearly say that Errol Spence is saying the same thing. It don't make no sense right now. Come on, y'all. You know what I'm talking about? Stop running around with these dumb narratives, with these stupid ass narratives, just because it sounds good for you to create some content with, or you want to do a debate or argue about some made up stuff. Man, come on, we got to do better than this. You know what I'm talking about? Let these dudes do their thing. And also, Shakur Stevenson is right at top rank with the undisputed champion in the weight division that he just moved up to, and we all know that's Devin Haney. He need to be trying to fight Devin Haney. He got a fight coming up with the Japanese dude this weekend. After that, he need to be focused on trying to make a fight with Devin Haney. And you heard what Shakur Stevenson said. He said he going after Gervonta Davis, see if he can make that fight. And if they can't get that popping, he wants Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? What do you want to do with Frank Martin right now? What does Frank Martin want to do with Shakur Stevenson right now? All the way over on two different platforms. Y'all got to get real. Stop making up stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Shakur Stevenson, he recently spoke and he said he gonna be at 135 pounds for a long time. I see Frank Martin being at that weight division for quite some time too, because he just getting his feet wet. They gonna meet up. You know what I'm talking about? Both Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson, those are two fighters that don't turn down no smoke. All they got to do is get their name big enough. If Shakur Stevenson mess around and get a fight with Devin Haney, if Devin Haney beats Vasil Lomachenko and it's for all the straps, I like Devin Haney. Huge Devin Haney fan. But I got to keep it real. Got to keep it 100. Shakur Stevenson going to beat Devin Haney. Devin Haney ain't messing with Shakur Stevenson. Great fight. I want to see him fight. I could be wrong, but my opinion is Shakur Stevenson beats Devin Haney. So Shakur Stevenson mess around and hit a triple-double, fight Devin Haney, and then he could talk about fighting Frank Martin, you know what I'm saying? But Frank Martin got to do his thing over there on the PBC. They both got to build their name, and this fight could potentially be a mega fight in a couple years. And I'm talking about ain't now one of these fighters going nowhere, no time soon. Believe and trust that. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about the situation. Were you one of the ones that was running around saying that Shakur Stevenson was ducking Frank Martin? Or were you one of the ones that know the game, know how the business work, and now one of them ducking each other? Let me know how y'all feel. Let me know how y'all feel about what Frank Martin had to say about the situation. And let me know how y'all feel about the winner. Who would be the winner in y'all eyes if this fight ever went down? Drop a comment in the comment section, and y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. And before we go, just remember one thing. If you feel offended, I'm talking to you.
They don't really wanna see shot. Going plat when I rap, I'm a clap in the beatbox. Other fellas like a weak block. Shoot a bullet and it fall to the ground with your heat drop. Ain't no competition we got. Better duck when I ride, press lines like a T5. Get me high in the treetop. I'm making love to the beat like the track got a G-spot. And I'm chewing every MC, yo. Try to run with them, but they can't keep up, bruh. What you wanna face me for? Knowing that I'm nice and I can't be tough. Any nigga feel it better than me. Got any beat and turn on my valve. Show a nigga that I'm dope like speed or coke. You catch an overdose on my style. One of the best, so I made dough. Killing the niggas who really can't flow. Moving the crowd when I say so. Try to be me, but you can't. I feel that I'm on top. Put them on the shelf, bet you I won't flop. Game on lock.